psychotherapist David Augsburger said that being heard is as close to being loved, that for the average person, they're almost indistinguishable. And if you're trying to solve problems with your wife and you're struggling with that, the first thing you need to do is to listen. I'm Lesli Dores, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And one of the things that happens when we want a change from our partner, or our partner wants a change from us, is that we really don't listen to understand what's going on. We try to solve a problem, we try to point out or correct their impression. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't already know this, it generally does not work. And the reason it doesn't work is because your partner doesn't feel heard. Now, I get it. It's not fair, because you say, well, what about me being heard? And I'm going to go, yes, absolutely. You deserve to be heard as well. But somebody has to be willing to go first in the listening department. And heroes are the ones who always step up and go first. And the key is to listen to understand, not listen to correct or to respond, which is what most of us do. Most of us hear enough about where the other person is, their thoughts, their feelings, their perspective, whatever, and then we start formulating our own response back to them. Maybe we're going to correct them about why they misunderstood what we said or did, or why their position doesn't make any sense, or whatever. And what happens is that basically slams the door on them feeling heard, which means they've shut down. They don't feel respected. They don't feel valued. And by the way, I've said this before, and you guys are going to say, Lesli, you're a broken record, and I get that. But understanding is not the same thing as agreeing. But in business, if you're trying to close a deal, or if you're trying to negotiate a contract or whatever, there is back and forth. I need to know what it is my client is looking for so that I can provide the appropriate solution. If I just bring in my solution without paying any attention to what they need, chances are I'm not going to make the sale. And you know what? Same thing is true in your marriage. If you don't hear and listen and try to understand where she is and what she's experiencing, you're never going to get to an answer that works for both of you. And in addition, she won't hear you either. She will not listen to you. And again, David Augsburger's quote is, being heard is almost synonymous with feeling loved. And if you want to feel loved and you want your partner to feel loved, listening to understand is the very, very, very first step. And if you struggle to do that, because most of us aren't taught, because we think that we have to agree with our partners, we don't. But we can't start to find a solution if we do not know where they are, if we do not hear, acknowledge, and respect their position. Because guess what? The same is going to come right back at you. And this is one of the skills that I teach my clients. And if you struggle with this, if you struggle to try to figure out why does she think that? Why does she feel that way? That's not what's happening. I'm going to tell you again, that argument is never going to work. And two, you're just going to continue in this back and forth battle without getting what you really, really want, which is a strong marriage. So if you need some help with that, I invite you to get in touch with me and we can have a conversation about what that looks like in your marriage. You can reach me at email leslie@foundationscoachingnc.com. You can send me a direct message. You can get in touch in all different kinds of ways, but what I'm saying is don't keep rehashing the same thing. Don't keep dismissing her position because you don't see it that way. Because guess what? One, I've never known anybody to talk anybody else out of their position. But two, it also is going to make it more difficult for her to hear your legitimate requests. So I hope you found that helpful. And until next week, stay loving.